Yates, hypothetically,
Yeah.
do you ever see yourself going back to the NFL in a way of, I don't know, maybe an actual GM, maybe an actual upper scout? See, you know ball, man. You understand it all, and you've been in that world for a little bit. Could you see yourself doing that?
I don't think. I think that ship probably sailed. I'm not sure any NFL team would express much interest in me. As you guys know, though, like this side of the this side is a pretty cool place to be too, right? You guys obviously had highly successful NFL careers and lived that life of playing for. I'll give you 10, Willie, and Taylor, long career as well.
Thank
Like,
you.
you know the toll that it takes on you, not just in terms of like the physical rigors of it, but also just the family and the balance and the things that matter. I know both you guys obviously are very passionate dads as well. I think that's one of those things that, like, in the scouting world, there's not a lot of balance in the world of football scouting, right? You're kind of
Right.
addicted to the game, which is a great, and I admire that trait in the guys that do it at a high level. But I like the fact that while I haven't won a game in the NFL for over a dozen years, I also haven't lost a game in over a dozen years.
Hell
So I
yeah.
remember sort of that feeling where you prepare. You guys know that, like, even the worst NFL teams are preparing like crazy Monday through Saturday to get ready for Sunday. But I love what we do here. I love just talking football and having the opportunity to watch it. And I think that I'm happy being at ESPN for hopefully a long time.
How long did that transition for you happen mentally? Like, as you're transitioning back in 2011, if you can remember that time, it's like, were you kind of transitioning at first and kind of like, man, kind of buying time until your next potential opportunity in the NFL to get in a front office spot? Or as you start tasting it, that thought process kind of fades away as you're getting to spend time at home?
Yeah, for me, like, and not to get like, too serious during a relatively light conversation here, but I was a few years out of college, and all I'd ever known since I was 16 years old was being around NFL teams. I was very fortunate to be around, some quality organizations and great people, and guys that I think taught me a lot about life, not just football, that I consider like influential in my life to this day. But I remember, like, 5-year high school reunion came and went. It wasn't even a consideration to attend that because there was just no chance to do it. First wedding I got invited to, missed it. Couldn't make it to that one. A lot of my buddies were living in some of the major cities around, the U.S., and they do their boys' weekends. Couldn't make any of those. So it just felt like, to me, a life decision. I knew at that point too. I'm 23, 24 years old. Like, I don't have kids, mortgage, more consequential things to have to worry about and have to make decisions on. So when I left football, I was sort of thinking to myself, I might go into the non-sports world. I got my real estate license. I quickly hated that. So I realized I had to find my way back into sports in some way, shape, or form. I always tell people, though, like, when you're in the world of scouting, you can love football, but you definitely have to live it. I love football now. I certainly live a lot of football, but I have interests outside of football that I get to explore now on the career path that we have. So it gives us the balance that I just don't know that scouts are afforded. So for me, I wish I could say it was like this epiphany that happened overnight. And I said, hey, I'm going to leave the world of scouting. I'm going to go work for ESPN. It wasn't as smooth as that. It took a few years to kind of get from the world of the NFL into the ESPN vortex. But once I found my way here, I kind of felt like maybe this is what I was supposed to be doing from the jump.
That's a great story. One thing I took away from it was, sounds like your first wedding you were invited to was a fall wedding. Am I correct in assuming that?
Yeah, it was a borderline illegal call by that person.
That's what I was going to say. Is should we completely abolish the fall wedding? Does that need to go away?
Totally, 100%. I don't even acknowledge fall weddings now.
Yeah.
I feel like I skipped a couple. This you guys will love this. When I was first getting started in the world, I was actually like ball boying for the Patriots way back in the day. I'm from Massachusetts, and I was there during some of the glory, some of the best. I mean, it was a long run, but some of those glory
2
years
decades.
I was there.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, there may not be, of the players that left like the greatest impressions on me during my time working with the Pats, Vrabes is right up there, man. He might be number one. And the thing that I loved about Vrabes was I was like a 14-year-old who at the time really thought that I was like going to become something as a football player, not an NFL player, but I thought like I'd have a chance to go on and become like a very successful high school football player, excuse me, and then maybe play at the college level, which I did. I sucked, but D3 backup, bench warmer only.
Right, but at the time,
But at the time, I was thinking big, right? I was thinking, Michigan, Nebraska, that kind of stuff. And Vrabes used to humble the crap out of me every day, man. That guy, and that's the thing about Vrabes, is that one of the greatest qualities he has. Doesn't matter if you're best player on the team, last player on the roster. He's going to tell you exactly how it is. And I'll never forget, I think there was one time where Belichick had made a comment to Vrabel about how, hey, I'm going into whatever year it was, and I'm trying to maybe get under the recruiting radar for some small Division III colleges. And then later on, like a practice a day or two later, I was maybe running wind sprints or something, or running routes on air as the team was going through walkthrough, whatever it was, doing something to try to help out, do something meaningful. And Braves was just chirping me from out of nowhere, just like something to the effect of like, Bill, you told me this kid's trying to get recruited to play football in college, watching the way that I was running. So Braves let me have it then. He still lets me have it to this day. And one of the many reasons why I admire that guy.
Admire is an interesting way after telling that story. I should have said.
No, you know what though? Hey, I learned a lot of lessons from him. If you can handle, some honesty from Braves, you're going to be all right.
Yeah, listen, you're talking to two guys that have been on that exact end of a story. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, the feeling you have psychologically and mentally, it's the same as a 7-year NFL vet when he's beating me down verbally, or a 14-year-old boy trying to play some high school ball.
I know, dude. Like, I was just trying to get my spirits up, and Braves like just no matter who it is. Again, 14-year veteran or 14-year-old kid, he's going to be honest with you. That's for sure.
Yeah. I tend to think if there was like the military, how they have like POWs. Yeah. If they took Vrabel and they just had them like look at the POWs and like just be demonstrative toward them, they get a lot more information out of them. That they would just beat them down verbally over and over again. Do you think Roger Goodell was behind Will Compton year 10?
I have some, I thought about that a lot. I do have a lot of questions about that. Because I want to say that year that like you were like, it was the year prior in which like you were undefeated with the Raiders and they went something like 0-6 down the stretch and then like 2-0 when you were on the roster. I'm merely pointing out numbers here. That's all.
The playoff.
I've wondered a lot. Like, are we talking about a Canton career if he gets one more year? That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, we're talking about Canton career. We're talking about a Atlanta Falcons Super Bowl. We're talking about a lot of things that would maybe mess up the script.
In the mix, hardcore, when all that was going down in field. Shout out you. You were massive. Like, you had fun with it. Massive supporter of the year 10. Always getting the breaking news. I don't know what source you had it from. But the Falcons were in the mix.
They were in the
playoff Willie time. It wasn't allowed. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden they drop a few.
Yeah.
Very into the season. We maybe still like they're already out of the playoffs. The magic's over.
Yeah.
Weren't the Titans like, did you have like a visit with the Titans too? And the whole city in Nashville was buzzing for like 24 hours? Or did I make that part up?
City was buzzing when Willie C did have a workout with the Titans. Raiders were on the table. That was the year before in year 9.
Okay. There we go.
Or was that year 8? Yeah. I kind of.
You talking about 2020?
Yeah, 2020. 2020 Raiders were on the table.
Yep.
Was holding out. I'm like, listen, I ain't gotta do nothing. There ain't no signing bonus on the table. I'm just getting vet minimum here. I can kind of just chill because the resume's there. You can drop me off in the helicopter and I'll figure out the playbook overnight. And then I got a visit with the Titans. Got to do a little workout. They end up signing me. I think we go 11-5 that year. First, we had the
number 1 seed. Yeah.
We lose that game. Then the next year was kind of wait and see. Then it was the Raiders get us into the playoffs. They cut me.
Yeah.
See what happened. They lost.
I remember that. Lost the next game, right?
Yeah.
Lost the next game once you get a real
against the
Compton.
Bengals.
Things just go downhill, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's massive. That's massive for you to have Will's back in that situation when a lot of people were just siding on the edge of power of Roger Goodell. So they were afraid to take on the big dog, and you were a man that stood 10 toes down. We appreciate you for that.